In this givingtext.org video, we're going to talk about best practices for your first text message. So why go into detail about this? These best practices are going to make sure that you keep your account in good standing, that you don't have problems with any of your contacts on the list. It's going to give them important critical pieces of information, and it's going to protect your list and protect your account from having anything bad happen to it or even getting it banned by some of the carriers. So today it's going to be all about best practices with your first message. So let's jump in. What you're going to do, log into the system, and of course, we're going to start right at the dashboard. Now, as you might have known from following our keyword video or seeing our send message video, when you go in and set up a message, you're going to have a first message that goes out when you set up a keyword or start a list. I'm going to take you to the send message section, and we're going to go through and add that. So here, this is just going to be simply your first message. Now again, when you set up a keyword, you get to send a response back to people immediately. I recommend you use this format as well when you're doing these things. So here's your message type. It's an SMS message. I'm going to preload a message, and we're going to talk about some of the individual parts to it. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you say, hey, thanks for joining our texting list, and remind them who you are. Put the name of your entity, the name of your organization, the name of your church, the name of your synagogue, the name of your charitable organization. Put it in the message. You'd be surprised at how many people send out a message and they don't identify themselves. This is the first message people are going to be getting from you. They want to know who you are. It'll go a long way to connecting with them. The second part of the message is right here. This is where we say we send 3 to 5 messages a month. You want to let people know how many messages they can expect to receive. It's just good practice. It's not required by law, but we highly recommend you do this. So if you send 3 to 5 messages a month, or 1 message a week, or 3 a week, or 30 a month, or 500 in a day, it doesn't matter how many you send. What matters is that you give them a heads up on what to expect. That way they aren't surprised when they start getting messages for you. Now, part 3 of this message is really simple. Message and data rates apply. How many times have we seen this? Hundreds, thousands of times. Every time you sign up for a text messaging list, you need to let people know. Every time somebody signs up, whether it's on a web form or you're having them opt in, always make sure to disclose this. This is critical information. It's something the carriers are asking everyone to do. You have to do it just to let people know. You don't need to put it in every message, but it's good practice to put it in the very first one just to cross that base. So what's the fourth part of the message? Reply stop to cancel anytime. This is a global command. Anytime somebody replies the keyword stop to your phone number, they are automatically unsubscribed. The givingtext.org system will automatically unsubscribe them from whatever lists they're on. This, again, good practice. This is what's required by the carriers so that people aren't getting spammed with too much information. All right, so you always want to add that. You want to sprinkle it in throughout. Definitely put it in your first message, and maybe periodically as you're texting people, go ahead and shoot it out. It's just good practice to recommend how to people to get off your list, because if people don't want to be there, you don't really want them on there anyway. So now let's jump into the fifth part of the list. Learn more about us here. If you remember, we love to use these short links, so let's go down here. Let's go ahead and add in our link, the HTTP www.givingtext.org. Of course, you're going to use your own link. You're going to use your own website. But once you get that dumped in, we're going to, oops, I typed the wrong button there. Here we go. You type that in, you're going to click the create and insert button, and then all of a sudden you'll see it pop up. Boom, there it is. There's the short link. And if you notice, that pushed me over the character limit. That's okay. As you know, SMS messages are only 160 characters. Sometimes it's hard to get everything into one message. So we're just going to flip this over to an MMS message. It costs a couple extra credits, but don't worry, it's a great way to communicate with people. You'll get up to 450 characters. Now, here's the key. Once this is done, you can send a text message, you can choose a list to send this out to, or if you're setting up a keyword, you can use this exact same format to set up your initial text message response when people join your list. So that's what you need to do. Those are the critical parts on it. Those are the tips that you want to use for when you're sending those messages. So get out there, set up your first messages, welcoming people into the fold, welcome them onto your list. Remember to tell them how many messages you send a month. Remember to remind them that message and data rates apply. Remember to tell them that they can stop at any time. And then don't forget to identify yourself. Toss in your charity name, toss in your nonprofit name, include a link to your website, give them somewhere to go to learn more about you. It'll go a long way to engagement, and it'll improve your interactions with your donors, with your volunteers, and with your staff. So get on out there and start using givingtext.org today.